tell me or give an order that I will make sure that they call this issue. Please warn the witness. Yes.
Just one of the Woodsmith. Cannot be Constable Sithole. Yes, you just said two results rounds and one round. And how many had you? You mean just one piece, or is it? Turns to the you're not say where the ammunition is. Number one, over the shotgun without finishing, but all along that was until the end of
you won't get hit.
No, but
he has answered that. He said it was there in front. He denied that it was in his name.
No, it's a different petition.
You obtain the same defense. It's, uh, it is he has denied, he has that.
Is it better for my lord the answer that I think we're missing to talk to one another? My question is in relation to the sort of the police station. You know, it's not just.
I'm just responding to any you did not treat it in other place,
But you,
including but I said in other places it's already at the disease.
I'm just saying
Is that part has already been answered and seem to be so
just number two, say that the ammunition that you describe as two rounds, 28 in one bullet, and some ammunition for an R5 is probably one that ended the life of the deceased.
Is it not so that when you shoot, then becomes a shame.
Yes, my lord.
And if it's,
Well, I think so. I don't have the experience.
I mean, certain things are common cause. Yeah. But if it has been used, it cannot be used again unless otherwise.
You are not telling the truth. That is not the kind of ammunition that you had. The kind of ammunition that you had is the one that eventually ended the life of the deceased.
Uyamusuthini number 2 uthi wena ukhuluma iqiniso. Okokuqala ngoba lezo nhlamvu bakothi uziphethe hayi lezo uchazile. Uthi lezo nhlamvu ilezi ezivulele umuthi lezi oziphethe. Uvumelana namasho njalo?
No.
Disagree with that? Akavumelani nawe awusisho okubana inhlamvu yena bekeziphethe. Ama-rounds bebaphethe ngiwo lawo abulele umuthi.
And that is why you cannot even locate them, because you're concealing their nature.
Uthi ingako engafuma angatholakali ukuthi wena awufuni wafihlile
Awafihlile.
awuzatholakala. Vumelana namasho njalo?
No.
Vumelana nalowo.
And this is also consistent with the conversation you had with your girlfriend, where you were telling her that you want to conceal these bullets.
Kodwa nato le ihambelana nale ntombi uyitshela intombi yakho yokuthi wena ufuna ufihla lawo ma-rounds.
No.
Nako lokho iyakhahlela iyaphika le ndaba yokuba ihambelana nale nto ayixelele intombi yakho ukubana ufuna ufihla ama-rounds.
In short, I put it to you that you are the one who loaded that shotgun.
Ngamafuphi ufuna ukutshela wena ukuthi nguwe ofake le njolobane phakathi kweloda.
No.
Yaphika nako
You are also the one who gave it to accused number 1.
wasonikeza number 1.
No.
Nako lokho uyaphika okubana unikeze number 1 isibhamu emveni basikasilodile.
And you did not advise number 1 as to what is contained in the shotgun.
Ngisangumtshela number 1 ukuthi kunani phakathi kwe-shotgun.
If someone takes the shotgun, what was I supposed to do? Like, what was I supposed to explain? I didn't know why she was taking a shotgun. I didn't know what she wanted to do with the shotgun, so I wasn't gonna be able to say anything to accused number 1.
Otshela wayengenalwazi lokubana number 1 ucinga ntoni ngexesha ethatha i-shotgun le ingako ngikhange amxelele noma yini.
And I also suggest to you that that is the reason why you have been so nervous in telling a number of people.
Forget about it, whether he's nervous or not. Make your statement. The court observed him. So you cannot say he was nervous. Make your statement to him on facts.
No, my lord, earlier on I charged the witness
Please do
yesterday.
not, the comment about that nervousness, it will be dealt by the court. All what he said after the shooting, he was traumatized. The shooting of the deceased.
Well, I'm putting it to him, my lord, that he was traumatized because he was actually involved in the events that led to the death of this
But
deceased.
Mr. Minyateli, we have dealt with this. We are repeating this time and time again. And you are forcing this court to always interrupt you. But if you repeat that which he has already said, the court will intervene. Because the court is not only sitting here to listen, it manages. If you can go through all these things you are saying to him, you denied them already during your cross-examination.
My lord, I am putting a version of the accused number 2, my client.
He has already denied.
I really feel debilitated because
Well,
I don't follow you, my lord. With all due
You know what
respect.
I'm saying is, he has already denied. all these things what you are saying to him, we are repeating. And if we keep on repeating, then we'll never finish.
Well, as the court pleases, I'll try and develop this point differently, because I think we might be misunderstanding each other. This is a new and novel version that I'm putting to the accused.
Please repeat
to
that
the
again.
witness. This is a new version I'm putting to the witness. In other words, it's a version that I'm putting on this aspect.
On
He
the
has not
aspect
responded
of,
on
on the
this
aspect of,
on the aspect of what happened as far as number 2 is concerned. That is his version. And if the court denies me to put the version,
no,
the
I'm
court
not
will
denying you,
will
but
not
what
be
I'm
able
saying
to adjudicate
is,
the matter.
what I'm saying is that which you have already said, please do not repeat it.
As a general statement, I accept, my lord.
Yes.
But I'm asking a question now, which I believe is necessitated by the sequence of events from the point of view of my client number 2.
Because the reason why I'm saying this, earlier on yesterday, accused 2's version will be that you handed accused number 1 the shop gun, and he said they denied it. Now you're repeating this morning again. And you said, when you put out that version, you always had the gun between your legs and behind him. He denied that. That's the reason why I'm saying, let's avoid the repetition. I've noted that already.
My lord, I will park that point. Maybe I will develop it in a different way. I am not convinced that.
But I'm
we're
reading
talking
what,
about the same
what
thing.
he said yesterday. Is that not what was said?
Exactly. No.
Was it not what was said, gentlemen? You see, it's not only the question of, say, our party and come to it. It's whether he has. If it's a new version, yesterday, as I've said, I'm reading it. I do not know whether the shotgun was loaded with the rubber bullets. And then now you say, I put the version of accused number 2. You will say you handed the gun to accused number 1. And he denied that. That's why I'm saying you're repeating what you have said already, Mr. Nathaniel.
The court will recall respectfully that this was a moving scene, starting at the charge office and ending perhaps at the time of the arrival at the place where the deceased was shot. I don't intend to, at this stage I was not confining it to just that scene.
No,
Because
but what we're saying is the accused will say you always had the gun. And if this morning you have
no,
said
I don't deny that. You don't have
but,
to worry.
no,
I
but
know
the-
what
but
I
the-
have
this
asked.
morning what you have said, that's exactly what. And if you look at what you said yesterday, that has already been answered.
Sorry, my lord, just as an officer of the court, I noticed that the watching brief, I don't know where it is today. I don't know if there's any.
If he decided not to be here, it is his choice. The main participant, the watching brief, I don't know what it is, because he doesn't even ask questions. Am I correct?
No, he doesn't ask questions.
Yes.
He's
So
watching.
he's just watching, and
Watching.
if he decides to not to be here, we cannot be, we can. I realize that it's not here, but there's nothing that I can do.
Yes,
If you're not here,
No, just for the record.
if you're not here, I would at least have, some concern because we can't start. In any event, started yesterday. Is it yesterday when he started? Because all the time he wasn't there.
Lord, can I
Let's
just
go.
take a second and take one little instruction
Yes.
before I resume? God bless my Lord. I promise I won't do it frequently. It's just when I need to make sure that to verify my instruction.
Okay, well, that's fine. I mean, but you know, there's your attorney. I don't know whether that rule has been. You ask your attorney, can you clarify this with the accused?
Yes.
With the accused. But anyway, let's go. Let's proceed.
Accused number 2 denies having stopped at an open place and chatted with any gentleman that you mentioned in your evidence, Chief.
Njengalo ukuthi asangamisa imoto wasuqoqa nenye indoda njengoba ukhulumile ekuqaleni.
Angivumelani na.
I disagree with that.
It denies.
Just a minute.
Uthi akavumelani nale nto oyishoyo ukuba wena khanga ube uxoxe nenye indoda engaziyo.
Yes.
Just as a reminder, it was your evidence that he chatted with somebody but you didn't hear what they were saying.
Uthe konje wena bakhulumile nalo muntu lo mara awuzwanga ukuthi bakhuluma ngani.
Yes.
Uthi ewe ukuthetha nalo mfo akazi ukuba bemthetha ngantoni.
Did you notice any exchange of anything between them? One giving something to the other?
Ubonile benikezana okuthize mhlawumbe umunye anikeza umunye okuthize.
Only accused number 1 will determine that one. I didn't see because I was at the back, but me, I didn't see.
Yena ngokwakhe khanga abone. Mhlawumbe number 1 ubonile mara yena.
Just a minute. Yes. Mr. Sithole, again, you have had me exchanging some ideas with counsel here, precisely to avoid that which you're trying to say now. He's asking you a very simple question. Did you see any exchange made between accused number 1, accused number 2 and this unknown person in the field? As you know, it's not for you to say only accused number 1 can, accused number 2 can answer that. They are asking you. And if you answer directly, then we'll make some progress. The question is very simple. You have answered it in any event at the end of the day, but that's not, remark is uncalled for.
Into oyogcwalisela into engadingeki ayidingeki nje into yokuthi wena uzutshela inkantolo ukuthi hayi unumber 1 mhlawumbe nguye ozoyazi mina zange ngibone kuqala. Akudingeki ukuthi ufake wena ubuzwa wena ukuthi wena uboneni wena uphendule into oyibonile noma ungayibonanga usho sokwazi ukuthi ube
But proceed, Ms.
Thank you,
Manitele.
He denies having in possession of any ammunition other than his service pistol, which contained rounds.
But uyaphila ukuthi kukhona ezinye izinhlamvu kade eziphethe kuye ngaphandle kwale sibhamu kade esiphethe ekade ezinenhlamvu sibhamu sincane sikade ezinenhlamvu zakhona.
Again, today I'm saying I disagree with that.
Uthi usaphinda futhi ukubana uyayiphika lento oyisho.
So you say he denies being in possession of any other ammunition other than the one in his pistol?
Yes, yes, my lord.
If we simplify, he denies having that belt which seemed to have had some ammunition as testified to by the witnesses.
Yes, my lord, definitely.
If we put it then he can...
But, my lord, I think on that point, I was focusing on the ammunition but not the belt. But could the court give me some indulgence to verify that? I don't want to say something.
But you see, as I understood the evidence is that he had a belt and they were tucked something into it. Is that correct?
That's correct. I'm just asking for verification on the following up by the court.
Okay.
Yes, my lord. Thank you, my lord. I appreciate it. He denies having had ammunition as you described on his belt or on his waist or whatever.
Uthi azange yena aphathe any ammunition njengoba wena buchaza ukuthi isebeltini noma kweyiphi indawo lapho uthi ungayifaka khona leyo ammunition.
I don't agree with your client.
Uthi akavumelani nale nto itshoyo ukuba wena ungaphethanga enye ammunition kuwe njengoba sisho yena.
You saw what you call green bullets when you were at Paraguanas Hospital. Is that correct?
Uthe eParaguanas uyawabona nama green bullet.
Kunjalo.
That's right. Tuwabonile nama green bullets phaya bar.
Okay. How many bullets were there?
Bone ngaki?
Mengabali, angibalang.
I did not count them. Count ukuba angakhi na nama bullets.
Do you know where the bullets are now?
Uyazi ukuthi okwamanje akuphi lawo ma-bullets?
No?
Uyazi uba akuphi lawo ma-bullets?
I see. Just a second, my lord. In your narration and your conversation with, I think it was your girlfriend, you mentioned some powder. Can you just explain or develop that powder story?
Yabona ngithi ukhuluma
So can you refer us to the...
Lord, I'm trying to get there. God can bear with me. If no, 24, eh? Yes, on page 24 of 35. Yes. You are speaking here.
Where is it?
It's actually page 24 of 35 on A158, my lord.
Yes, that is exhibit.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes,
Okay.
on page
Could be K.
24.
Yeah. Can you start reading from page 23 at the bottom, the last line?
But lama rubber bullets, kune rubber bullets yabona le rubber bullets. Ilama bhola aphuma uma udubula ashaya umuntu, so leyana ayifani nale.
Yes.
But those rubber bullets with balls that get out when you shoot hit a person, not the same as with that one.
Yeah. And then on top of 24,
in a powder phakathi, like umayiqhuma kakhulu, it has a powder inside, and when it shoots, it makes a big sound.
So, I just want to check, in what context were you making this explanation to your girlfriend?
Manje ukuchazela i-girlfriend yakho ngaphansi kweziphi izizathu?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Uyazi ukuthi yintoni ezaza kuchazele i-girlfriend yakho yonke.
No, Lord, I'll leave that, no problem. It's common cause that you don't work ordinarily with number 2. You fall under a different leader.
That has been answered.
Yes, my lord. I'm just trying to...
Okay, you're leaving this for something else.
I'm
Yes.
migrating to another.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, Mr. Constable Sithole. You don't ordinarily work with number 2.
Ekujwayelekile awusebenzi nayo number 2.
Kunjalo.
That's correct.
You also confirm that number 2 worked with number 1
Number
amongst
2
other people.
kakhulukazi usebenzana number 1 nabanye abantu.
True.
On that day.
It's ordinary, my lord.
Now, I don't know whether ordinarily, because these people were students, but on that day, it's common cause. He
Yes.
was not under his command,
Yes.
nor was he attached to him, except that swart boy, that boy, Kosi, and who's the other one? They were working with accused number 2.
Yes, my lord.
Yes.
Thank you, my lord. Do you recall any plan or plot between number 1 and 2 perhaps, and anyone else, that the deceased must be killed?
Uyawenza kuhlanganiswa amakhanda number 1 number 2 nabanye mhlawumbe besho bathi hayi no kumele abulawe.
No.
Kangayive leyo ngxoxo leyo apho nina nani hlanganisa amakhanda kokubana ubulawe umuntu.
You're not aware of
Just a minute.
Sorry.
Yes.
You are not aware of any agreement between number 2 and number 1 or anyone else that the deceased must be killed?
Yes.
Akazi into lento eyathetha yini nabanye number 1 number 1 nabanye ukubana umuvimela abulawe.
Sorry, what was the question again?
He is not aware of any agreement between accused number 2 and number 1 or anybody else on that day that they must set out to kill the deceased.
That, how does it differ from the previous one?
The previous one is talking about a plan, my lord.
No, he says, I don't rock any plan. And now you say the second one is about? He said, I don't
Agreement.
recall any plan.
Yes, he said, my lord.
Yes.
I'm just trying to satisfy myself about that.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but you say essentially they are the same.
They are related, my lord, but not necessarily the same.
Yes, sir.
There can be
Yes.
a plan which does not ripen into an agreement. There cannot be there can be agreement separately even without a plan sometimes.
Okay, so you say, no agreement.
No
That is
agreement.
all, yes.
Yes. What is the answer? Sorry?
But you know what was the question?
Last question. You're not aware of any agreement between accused number 2 and number 1 or anybody else that the deceased must be killed?
Ungenaso ungenalwazi lesivumelano phakathi kuka number 1 and number 2 noma nabanye ukuthi kubulawe umuntu.
Yes.
No.
No, is the answer.
And finally on this point, sorry.
Wengenayo ulwazi okubana mina vumelele ukubana ngibulale umuntu number one,
Yes. Other than the events that you depicted in the previous days here in your evidence, you are not aware of any kind of participation by accused number one in the death of the deceased.
Sorry, accused number?
Number two, sorry, my lord.
In the
Participation. Other than what you related in the previous days in your evidence, you're not aware of any participation by accused number two.
ngaphandle kwalento busuyiqalele uyitshele ngaphandle kwalento busuyitshele inkundla wena ngokwakho awukwazi okunye okwenzile number 2 noma efake isandla number 2 kuze umufi azashona ngaphandle
Angisakhumbula.
kwaloko osokushilo enkantolo.
Angisakhumbula.
I don't remember. Khumbula ukubana kukhona na okunye okwenzile noma ukufaka kwakhe isandla de kuze kushone umufi.
That is not a satisfactory answer, Constable. I'm just asking from your own perception. To say you don't remember doesn't say whether there was participation or there was no participation. It does not help the court. Answer the question in full or as it comes. Please.
Sorry, hasn't the witness answer? I mean, don't remember, yes or I mean, to say to the witness, but he must give a yes or a no. I mean, if he doesn't remember, he doesn't remember. I mean, one cannot force an answer of yes or no. The court pleases.
So your best answer is that you do not remember.
Impendulo yakho leyo.
Correct.
Yatsho kuba impendulo yakho bakakhumbula.
when you say any participation, what do you mean?
My lord, that is why I say other than what you said already. Because the accused is facing a charge of murder.
I'm aware of that.
Read in section 258.
No, but what do you mean when you say participation other than what he has already placed on record?
I want to find out what number 2 did, perhaps in the furtherance of the shooting or something like that.
But if you surely if you look at the whole picture given, you should be able to see that.
I'm finding out from the witness, my lord. I don't want to
But
make
if you say participation, you see, after the shooting, what he testified to is that accused number 2 went to pick up. He explained how he picked up the deceased, put him in the van.
Yes,
You say other than that?
yes.
Yes.
Other than that, was there any action on the part of the accused number 2 that perhaps conduced in the furtherance of the death of the deceased?
But isn't that really the question of argument? I mean, the evidence is there that he went to pick up the child. They decided to firstly to go to the fire station, and they changed their minds, and they went to Baragwanath, Krisani Baragwanath. And if you say any participation, I think it's too broad.
Maybe, my lord, I will abandon that question. You indicated to the court in the previous days that the act of retrieving the body of the deceased and loading it onto the back of the van took about 20 seconds, remember?
Sothi kuyothatha isikhathi. Sinyana nje 20 seconds. Thatha umfana la bekawele khona azalayishwe eveni.
Angivumelani naye umhlonishwa.
I disagree with you.
My lord, he had testified it was less than 30 seconds. He didn't say 20 seconds.
Sorry, my lord, I don't know. Maybe I got my notes wrong. I thought it was 20 seconds, quite honestly. So you say it was 30 seconds?
Plus minus 30 seconds.
Plus
Yes.
minus 30 seconds.
ixesha lelo
It was very fast, so yeah, around 30 plus minus 30 seconds.
In the act of number one, getting hold of the shotgun and shooting through the window of number two,
Through the open window.
the open window of number two. Thank you, my lord. How do you estimate that period?
isikhathi mawungabekisa ungabe isikhathi esingakanani thatha isibhamu azapointe khiphe nge-window lika number 2 azadubule number 1.
I don't know, I don't remember, but it was not quick. What I can say is it was not a same time thing, taking a gun and shooting same time, so I don't know, but it was not fast.
Okay.
uthi ungasheshanga zange uthathe uyowathatha ixesha lakhe onumber 1 akazi ungasho uba ixesha elingakanani ukuba azange enze izinto fast xa phambi kokuba adubule.
Would you be able to estimate the duration of the entire episode from the time of the shooting and the recovery of the body?
Emveni kwasecetha ukujujula phambi kokuthi ayomthatha umntwana amlethe la evenini ungasho ukuthi kuthatha isikhathi esingaka emva sokuqhuma isibhamu bese ayomlanda umntwana.
For the sake of accuracy, no.
Uthi angeke azayisho no ixesha latha.
Let me just try to bring you into the picture again. You are seated inside the van. You are
Yeah.
eating.
Uhleli
Okay.
lapha evenini.
Yeah. Number two gets hold of the shotgun, whether it was given by you or whatever, and then the shot goes off. Number two runs to collect the body. And I just want you to give me the court an estimation of this entire period of those events,
Uthi bheka
the
uhleli
duration.
emotweni uya nawo number 1 uthatha ishotgun ekhipha ngewindi uyadubula bayiceda nje ukudubula uthatha isikhathi esingakanani ukuze uphunywe manje uyolanda umntwana bese aletha.
Entire period, no, I'm not able, but my attention was drawn when when accused number 2 sped off to go and pick up the boy. That's why I'm saying it's plus or minus 30 seconds, because that's where I started like to see what was happening.
Othe ngelo ixesha alikhumbula kakuhle ileli xa wena uphuma uyolanda umfana phaya la elele khona emva basodubulile ngoba emva basodubulile khani la ezobhekisisa kahle xa ibona wena uphuma ingako enokwazi ukusho ixesha lakhona uthathile.
Yeah. No, I'm just keen because you were able to estimate the period of collection of the body. All I'm interested in now is if you include that period and the period of the taking of the shotgun and the shooting, how would you say the overall time was?
What's the relevance of that, Mr. Nathaniel?
My Lord, I'm just trying to. There's a rather interesting argument of the state in the charges that says that the accused number 2 or the state will invoke the doctrine of common purpose, and therefore it's important to find out what the activities of each person was and how long.
If you look at his evidence, he said we were sitting in the van eating,
Yes, my
having shared.
Yes, my lord.
What actually drew his attention was when the sound was heard, the sound that was heard over through the world. Is it not his evidence?
That is evidence, my lord.
Yes.
So maybe let me rephrase then. When the shooting took place, how long had you been parked there with the rest of the members?
Sebenza indlela ke manje. Phambi kokuthi uzojujula bese nesikhathi esingakanani Ngenkathi ukudutsula, kunesikhathi esingakanani nipakile lapho?
I don't remember.
Sakukhumbule ukuthi besenexesha elingakanani nipakile phaya.
2 minutes, 3 minutes?
I don't remember.
Thoba nje sakukhumbule.
Don't remember, you can't estimate.
Yes, I can estimate.
Yes, you know, he has answered that, Mr. Manyatheli. Let's make a progress, please.
Yes, my lord, we will make papers. Now, I gather that you said in your evidence the accused number 2 was driving fast towards the hospital.
Sibile usizwile ukuthi wena uthe fast, driver fast is number 2.
Kunjalo.
Correct? Uthi kunyanga uba wena unyathela ifutha ngexesha kuya esibhedlela.
And he simultaneously was trying to call his seniors.
Ngapha uzama ukufonela amasenior wakhe.
To alert them to what has happened, what had happened.
Uzama ubatshela ngale nto yenzekile.
Not only seniors, but yes, correct?
It's correct.
Correct.
Kodwa hayi amasenior odwa. Yebo, kunyanga ukuthi uzama before.
Yeah. It was not only at the hospital that he tried to call people. He was calling people even en route to the hospital. That's what I'm
Hayi
trying to say.
ukuthi usesibhedlela nje kuphela lapho waqala khona efonela abantu. Nasendleleni saya esibhedlela belokhu ezama ukufonela labo bantu.
Correct.
Do you recall who he called?
Sakhumbula ukuthi ufonele abantu.
He found a lot of people. I was traumatized. I don't remember exactly.
Uthi ufonela abantu abaningi. Angeke asakwazi ukukhumbula ngokuba ufonele obani.
But amongst those people, it was a commander.
Among those people, they were commanders.
Commanders.
I'm a commander. Uthi phakathi kwabo bantu oyoba zama ukubathola ngocingo kade kungama commanders.
And he says he was in a panicky state, desperately trying to save the life of the deceased. And this-
Number 2 yena nabe bethukiwe ezama ukuthi yazi lempilo yalomntwana isindiswe. Thina
I don't know.
utakazo uba inyani lento ethathayo akazo uba wena ngenyani ufuna ukuthi uzame kusindiswe impilo phefumulo walo mfana.
Sorry, his answer, he disagrees?
So tell you the answer.
What is the relevance of that, Mr. Manyatheli? Vis-a-vis the charges that the accused is facing.
My lord, I know that the accused himself has not been charged with as an accessory, but he is charged as a participant of sorts. And it's very important to look
But
not
what
only
I'm
at...
asking, what is the relevance of
I'm
that?
trying to explain that, my lord.
Okay, please do.
The charge, it is common cause that number 2 did not shoot the deceased, but he
Sorry?
still did not shoot the deceased, but he is charged nevertheless in terms of the doctrine of common purpose. Now, I think the court will have to assess that, looking at all the events prior, during, and after.
Well, you know, look, you don't have to dictate to the court what it has to do. There are certain standing orders what the court has to do in order to find anybody guilty. What I'm asking you is what is the relevance of driving fast to the hospital to do with the charge?
No, my lord, it's not just a question of a sentence of driving fast. The act of driving fast shows he has considered panic and desperation, right? It also shows the state of
Mr.
mind.
Manyatheli, forget to sugarcoat. I'm asking you. Now you're saying that, and you say he has already conceded. That you can deal with this in your heads of arguments and when you address me.
Yes, my lord.
What we have so far is that the deceased was shot at, placed in the van. Decision was taken along the lines not to go to the fire station but to go to Baragwanath Hospital, driving at a reasonably high speed. Now I'm asking you, what is the value of that question that you're asking?
It is relevant to the state of mind of the accused number 2.
Thank you, my lord.
He has started, he's doing what you are doing to him. He gives you the notes. You know, Mr. Mchivasi, he's instructing attorneys, there he is. If he has to give, you know, he takes instruction from his attorney, not you. Please. Respect that, because you may be saying something you don't even show him. Isn't that quite, you know, a question that he should give that to attorney?
Yes.
I don't say he isn't, because the attorney must factor that in the whole scheme.
Yes, my lord. Yes. It's got
That
my lord.
practice must come to an end. I'm watching. And as I explained yesterday, you know, certain postponement, I said this this postponement were conveniently made, but you still persist with doing that. Unfortunately, the instructing attorney was not here. So if there's anything that you know the attorney has to, you want to bring it, please give it to the attorney so that he can be in the picture. Please proceed, Mr.
Yes, my lord. Thank you. It was part of your evidence that when you were driving to the Baragwanath Hospital with the accused 1, 2, and Visachi and Khoisan, the accused was taking out the shell from the shotgun.
Sorry? Taking it?
Taking out a shell from the shotgun. Is that correct?
Correct.
Uthe kwinyano oba ngexesha lokudrive ukukhuphana nale shell.
Or en route to Baragwanath
On the
Hospital?
route to Bonahana Hospital. Yes. But he was driving and driving fast. How would he do that?
Ukwenza kanjani lo? Nawe uyashela lo. Noma ngesivinini esiphezulu.
He's tr-
The car was traveling zigzag, and we are scared of accused number 2, so we were just scared. But the car was driving zigzag.
Othi ke yasho ukuthi imoto behamba njani. Njengoba sisho ukuthi zigzag ukuthi beqhwale umgwaqo onke. And
But what I'm trying to find out is, in that zigzag or high speed, desperate speed, how was he able to deal with the shotgun and remove shells?
Accused number two will answer that one for himself, but I don't know how he is able to do it, but he will manage.
Mr. Story, please answer the question. We're not interested in what accused number 2 is going to say at this stage. The question is directed to you. And it will help us very, immensely if you answer that. I mean, you have been in that box now with accused number 2 for 3 days, am I right?
I've been quite a few days, my lord.
Yes. And I think, sometime, this matter the cross-examination has to come to an end.
Yes, my lord. Get through today.
amalanga amaningi ucela kahle ufuna ukuhlobisa indaba yakho. Buza wena uzwa number 2 kusasa azophendula. Buza nje ukuthi waze kanjani fana le zalela zinhlamvu uma eloku edriver esiphezulu uyazi baba ukwazi kanjani.
Maybe beka-fosters because imoto bengahambi straight makaloku eyenza yonke lento bekayenza ukukhipha inhlamvu.
The first matters, my lord. As I indicated that the vehicle was not driving in a straight line. As he was driving and now he's trying to remove those shells.
Did you actually see him remove shells? from the
Mbonile
shotgun?
wakhupha lawo ma-shells la. Ngitsalela leso.
Not shells, but a shell.
Not shells.
Sure. The question is, did you actually see him?
Umbonile ekhipha.
Yes.
Ubonile awukhupha leyo. Ngitsalela eyodwa.
Number 2 denies that he did that. He denies taking out any shell from the shotgun.
Mina kuphika uvumelana naye.
No.
Disagree with that?
I did,
Uvumelana nawe xa usithi wena.
I did not hear any evidence saying that he was driving in a zigzag motion. I'm hearing this for the first time.
Kathi unikeza ubufakazi ekuqaleni ukuzomshushisa azange uyiveze indaba yokuthi imoto yayigcwele umgwaqo njengoba usisho ukuthi yenza ama-zigzag emgwaqweni. Qala ukuzwa namhlanje.
I'm sorry, my lord. I'm not supposed to ask questions, but does it mean my statement that I gave to IP?
Now, look, this is the first time that you testify about the driving in erratic manner for the first time this morning. In other words, when you are testifying about the high speed that he was driving to Baragwana, you never mentioned that he was driving in erratic manner.
Zigzag.
Yabona into esemqoka ukuthi uyikhuluma manje namhlanje.
It has come like I have recollected that one. That what happened. Some of the things I do recall what happened.
Uthi uyikhumbule namhlanje lento eyenzekile. Kwezinye izinto zinokubuya kuye ezikhumbule.
But I put it to you that you only introduce it now in order to explain the manipulation of the shotgun to remove shells.
Uthi cha uyibeka nje manje lento le ukuthi ufuna ukuveza ukuthi kumanipulate kanjani indaba ye-shotgun ukuthi ishell ikhishwe kanjani lapha phakathi kwe-shotgun.
I'm lost. I don't agree.
Kodwa uzulahlekile mara akavumelani nalento etshoyo ukuba yena ufuna ukugxalisela ukuba wena uzokucaca uba nguwe oyikhuphile leyo shell phakathi kwe-shotgun.
On the day in question, did you see accused number 2 with number 3?
Ngalo langa le wambona number 2 no number 3.
No.
Kangabona wena uno number 3.
I see.
Bless you.
Did you ever go to the scene in the aftermath of the death of the deceased?
Emveni kwesehlakalo sokwenzeke yonke into uyo waya futhi lapho kulesimo.
No.
Sorry, just a minute. When?
The scene is in
That happened on the 26th of
on the 26th of
August.
Yes, my lord.
And today we are on the 11th or the 12th of October. You mean from that time until today, or until when?
No, I'm just saying in the aftermath, my lord. That is a day or maybe two after that.
Yes,
Yes.
please, make it clear to him so that.
Yes, my lord. Immediately after the occurrence of the incident, did you go to the scene?
No.
Khangaya esinini emva kwenzekele.
Even today? Even up until today?
Zokubeka namhlanje zange uye lapha esinini.
Can you be more clear? There is a truck where the scene happened, and then there are flats on that place. So now I work in Eldorado Park. We do receive complaints in Hillbrow flats. So can you be more clear where exactly?
No, I'm talking about the scene, just the scene.
Esinini lapha.
The scene is that place where the shooting
Took place.
took place.
Lapho tuthule khona lo mfana.
Okay, not Hillbrow flats as a whole, but just the truck. I never went to the truck.
Lapha etrapini. Njekuzomanje khanga azaye apho. Lapho tuthule khona lo mfana.
Did you see anybody planting or purporting to be planting ammunition?
Khona umuntu umbonile akwenza lo. Plant ammunition sithele ukuyitshala beka lapha.
I stay in front park, not Eldo, so no, I didn't see. I couldn't have seen.
On that scene, you didn't?
I couldn't have seen.
Interesting.
Ngasakwazi ukubona, azange ayibone le nto leyo. Umuntu etshala amalona, plant ammunition.
Yes, my lord. Thank you. You remember the rough sketch I made yesterday about the position of a truck and your duty van?
Correct?
You remember that?
Correct?
Sakhumbula le sketch amgqokele sona se-truck ne-duty van.
I put it to you that as a back sitter, you are not in a very convenient position to see all what went on in the circumstances.
Othi wena njengomuntu bowuhleli ngasemva.
Whether it is middle or side or whatever, you are not in a convenient position to see all what transpired.
Wena ubungakwazi ukubona kahle yonke into eyayenzeka la ngokuthi wawuhleli ngasemva noma uhleli phakathi naphakathi noma ecaleni noma kuliphi icala.
That's false.
Kodwa akusile iqiniso ngicela ngabona kahle kakuhle yonke into eyenzekile.
My Lord, I'm going towards the end. I just want to test one thing before I wrap up, my Lord. And I'm not far from that, wrapping up. Can you have a look at the exhibits? And just want to get there. Look at the exhibit. And it's exhibit D. Can you look at the
So the exhibit,
D, my lord, D for Derek. If that works.
yes. Let me just look at this one.
You said in answer to my
Just a case. Yes.
picture one, my lord. You said to my learned colleague that that is the van that you were in on the day.
Correct?
Othi ku picture one yiyo event ekabo kuyo ngalo langa lelo.
How do you say that? Why do you say that?
Uthi shiso yini?
Because it was.
Shiso ngothi kwakuyiyo.
From the picture, what helps you to conclude that is?
Is it in dispute that they used the state vehicle, and they said in dispute that they had to take. They went to all these different places.
Yes, my lord. I'm just testing the reliability
No,
of
no,
the
no,
witness.
no, no, no. It's not only the question of testing. Is it in dispute?
My lord, in the 220s it's admitted.
It's submitted. And in any event, when the van went there, the crime had not as yet been committed. The alleged crime has not been committed. Except he might have committed a crime of abandoning his working station. But at that time, nobody can say that. So I think we are taking the time too leisurely.
Yes, my lord.
So the question is disallowed.
Yes, my lord. Now I will abandon that line of question, my lord. I will just leave that exhibit. It doesn't matter. Can I just respond? Thank you, my lord. Accused number 2 will say that he denies killing the deceased. He denies ever having been in possession of any ammunition other than the one that was in his pistol.
Sorry. Let's be very careful. He has already answered that. You have put it to him that other than the ammunition that were in his state-issued gun, he denies. Didn't you do that?
No, I know, my lord, but I'm just trying to round off.
No, but if
Summarize.
if you have not caught it up with it, I have, and I don't know whether the state position is. I'm saying this in the interest of time, and there
Yes,
were
ma'am.
many, repetitions. That's why the court had to intervene.
Yes. My lord, for the records, I'm summarizing what I've started with.
Okay.
The main issues and the charges facing the accused, so that you don't struggle as to what the
Who
position-
doesn't struggle?
So the court doesn't.
No, speak for yourself.
Yes.
No, speak for yourself.
I'm trying to. My
To
lord,
put your, to put
Yeah.
your client's version, that I will accept.
Lord, I just want to check what more I have not put to the witness. I think I have done everything, almost everything that I needed to do. For this particular witness, my lord, my lord, the question I put to him that accused number 2, as far as he's concerned, he is the one who was always in possession of the gun.
You have said that. I'm not going to allow you to repeat that.
Yeah.
You have said that. And I think this is the third or fourth time you repeat it. And I'm not disallowing it, because I'm disallowing, for the sake of disallowing it. It has already been put more than once.
Okay. Do you know the thing called pellet?
Ngiyazi le thekisi uthi pellet.
No?
Angakwazi ukubona.
According to the post-mortem report, the deceased died as a result of multiple gunshot wounds with pellets.
Yamela. Post-mortem report. Kuthiwa ukuthi ufana lo ubulewe izinhlamvu eziyizona ama-pellet amaningi. Gunshot wounds ama-pellet.
My Lord, I think that statement is wrong, because if you look at the cause of death, it says shotgun wound to the chest and abdomen. I don't know if, and he's referring to the PM, and I'm looking at the PM. Go,
No,
please.
my Lord. I cannot invent the words. It comes from this post-mortem report.
That is the exhibit number B, my Lord. Page number 2 has the cause of death.
That is Exhibit B.
That is correct, my Lord.
And that will be the cause of yes, page 2 of the medical legal autopsy report under item 4.5. Cause of death was determined to be due to
Shotgun, my Lord.
shotgun wound to the chest and abdomen.
My Lord, I have seen it in the information given.
No, but if you say, the cause of death was anything else, that's the pellets, it seemed not to correspond with it.
My Lord, I've been dealing with this thing since the bail application. I know exactly that was what was said.
But that while we still are trying to get a copy of that, what is the relevance of that? Vis-a-vis accused number 2.
Well, my Lord, I'm just making a case for the defense.
Defense of accused number 1. No, accused number 2.
Yes. Yes, my Lord, I think if we can read in that same exhibit, paragraph Roman numeral 4.
Page?
Oh my God.
What is written on top of the document?
Medical legal autopsy report to the magistrate of Deep Club. It's dated
Yes, and on top it says DR number
1369
2020.
2020.
Yes.
Yes, my Lord.
And then if you look at the number 5, which is the summary of the findings,
Yes.
it says what is the cause of death.
But if you look at Roman numeral 4, that the
Yes.
chief post-mortem findings in this case, that
Yes.
is the title. It says, body of a colored male teenager known with Down syndrome was allegedly shot with a firearm. Post-mortem examination shows features of Down syndrome, shotgun pellet wounds to the chest and abdomen, with pellet wounds to the trachea, bronchus, lungs, aorta, heart, liver, and large intestines. That's what it says. So I'm not inventing this.
No, I'm not saying you're inventing, but what was your question again? The cause of death. You said it was a pellet.
Yes. Yes. It does say so here.
Is that what the cause of death was?
But it says the cause of death is gunshot wounds.
Yes.
You know?
That we are not in dispute. We are in full agreement that the
Yeah.
gunshot wound was the cause of
Yes.
the shotgun wound to the chest was the cause of death.
Yes. Yeah, my lord, I'll leave that point. But perhaps let me just. He said doesn't know what pellets are, so I don't want to pursue it any further. Yeah, I'll just leave it. Well, finally, Mr. Sithole, I just want to find out from you. I'm not expecting you to know this, but have you been exposed to criminal procedures in your training as a policeman?
Lapha police training bayanifundisa nge-criminal procedure.
I think yes, there is a book that we were using. It's a written Criminal Procedure Act.
Yebo, uyakhona ukuthi kunencwadi kade bebeyisebenzisa lapha e-college ebhalwe Criminal Procedure Act.
Do you know what is called colloquially a state witness?
What is the relevance of that?
Yes, my lord. I'm looking at this, the situation. I've asked her before about his eventual becoming a
What
state
is the
witness.
relevance of that question?
I'll explain it to you, my lord, but I just need answers at
No,
this stage.
I'm asking you before I allow it.
The
This,
relevance of,
for what it is worth, he is here as a state witness.
yes, my lord.
Whether he knows what a state witness is or he doesn't know, that is immaterial. But you've got to determine his testimony in the light of what the nature of his testimony in the light of the total what he has said.
Okay, my lord. Prob that can be left for argument at a later stage.
I don't know whether you can come and ask somebody a question about criminal procedure, and he told you among others that this training took 8 months.
Yes, my lord.
And to expect somebody to come out and be conversant with the legal terminology, which doesn't really help us. It's whether he testified or he didn't testify, sufficiently.
My lord, I'm not expecting the witness to know anything.
No, you ask him.
I'm
You
just
ask
trying
him, was he exposed?
Yes. If he says no, that's fine.
Then if he says, even if he was not exposed, well, how does it help towards the what we were investigating him, Mr. Minister? Particularly, although sometimes I get the impression that you also wants to cover other people.
No, not really, my lord.
No, that's why you said, you talked about, the gun being handed to accused number one. He said the gun was handed to accused number one. And this is what I've cautioned your colleague, that you only have the mandate vis-a-vis your client. Now I'm asking you, we have already spent 3 days with this witness, you alone. Now I'm asking you, what is the suspect value of somebody having been exposed to criminal procedure, or what he knows about the function of the state witness.
Well, firstly, I want to avoid texting him about things that he is not exposed to. I don't
Sorry?
want to. Firstly, my lord, I want to avoid questioning the witness about things that he does not know.
No, you know,
He has not been exposed to.
You can ask him any question, whether it was exposed, if it's relevant. If it's not, the court will intervene.
Well, this question, my lord, is relevant to.
Not.
Is
To say, whether he knows what the state witness function is. Vis-a-vis, Mr. Manyatela, your client, what is he going to help us? It's whether you're going to submit that he should not be disbelieved. And that does not in any way affect the fact that he is a state witness or not. Emre, you can't afford the temptation. Anyway, let's ask. Let's do that. The question is disallowed.
I thought I would explain, my lord.
No, the question is disallowed. To ask this witness whether he knows what the function of the state witness is, or what is the state witness.
I don't know if it came like that, my lord, unless you have a different understanding of it.
What is the question again?
I first asked the witness if he was exposed to criminal procedure, and following up on that, whether the issue of state witness was canvassed.
No, you ask him
But
whether
before I even finished asking that question, the court interjected.
those two questions, all of them are disallowed.
I'm going towards the end of the closed examination, but I'd just like to find out. Once more, the bullets that you say you were hiding somewhere, have you reported them to anybody in the echelons of the police hierarchy?
No?
Kana reported, kana bakulesi dabe wa kana reported wa abata abafet. It's crazy.
Just a minute. What is that made of the gun again? ZZ?
Z88, my lord.
Z88 and 1R5. Thank you.
One
Please.
shotgun
Yes.
as well. Yeah. But it was state property, isn't it?
Correct?
Always it was a statement.
So it was an offense not to report it.
I'm not aware.
You're not aware.
Magaza uba kuityala ngasukuyala.
Well, I put it to you that you are as culpable in this matter, and all what you are doing, even in giving evidence, is to trying to cover yourself.
I don't agree.
Objection. But anyway, I think we've already gone through the culpable thing, and I mean, all of this has been done.
Mr.
We're never going to finish, my lord.
Do you really, can you really afford the temptation of not repeating yourself?
No, my lord, it's not a
You
question
seem
of
to be
repeating.
liking to put questions, even those questions which have been answered.
No, my lord, this is
This question you're asking is disallowed.
okay. Seeing that these questions are disallowed, all of them, I will ask another question. Hopefully, it won't be disallowed.
Well, it depends. Since that that is that which I should possibly respond to, just to make sure that we're not on different paths. The purpose is cross-examination is to elicit something in your favor, and you've got the latitude. But if the question has been answered, Surely this court cannot allow it to be repeated again and again and again. That's exactly what I'm just saying. I'm just doing.
My Lord, I
A
take it-
question that is relevant to the resolution of the the issues before us. You are allowed to do it. But if you cannot, if you repeat that time and time again, even if it's answered, the court will definitely not hesitate to disallow it, as I have.
Yes, my Lord.
Imran,
I just want to.
he's busy. Mr. Chivas, you know what he's instructing attorney? He's instructing attorneys that please refrain from that. Give it to him. Don't do that. What kind of, we are not, you're instructing attorney there is, do you see what I'm saying, Mr. Bartenhorst?
That's exactly my lord.
You know what, you don't have a brief for accused number 2. The one who has a brief for accused number 2 is Constable Mandla Sithole and his attorney. Refrain from doing what you're doing. It's unacceptable. Because you cut out the instructing attorney, and the instructing attorney has got a mandate from the accused. Please restrain yourself. The temptation is unacceptable.
The court pleases, my
Yes.
Lord. Well,
In fact, can you just shift can you just shift that? It's just it's terribly unacceptable the way we are doing. It's not how I expect counsel to do. If you have anything, please go to a counsel's instructing attorney.
And I suggest to you that by virtue, the act of concealing ammunition was actually making you, if anything, an accessory after the fact of the charges preferred against, especially number 1 and 2.
Objection, my
I
lord.
don't
There's no
agree.
evidence to support that, and it's been put as a fact to this witness, my lord.
I don't understand the objection, my Lord.
Lord, there's no proof that that ammunition is even linked. I mean, we from the evidence and what we've seen, the type of ammunition, it's not even linked to the ammunition that killed the deceased. So there can be no ground for that, and now it's been put as a fact to this witness that he's an accessory after the fact on ammunition that's not even related to the ammunition that killed the deceased. I would submit there's no ground for that version put.
I did put to the witness, my Lord, that is not the ammunition that was hidden. It was actually ammunition that ended the life of the deceased. I did say that.
Even if the facts may tend to point out that it's an accessory, that is not being charged.
Yes, my Lord.
He's not being charged. So all what you're doing
That
is
would
not,
be my next question.
no, all what you're doing is not helping us.
No, my
That's
Lord.
like
That's not fair, my Lord.
No, it's look.
That's not fair. With respect.
He's not charged as an accomplice.
Yeah. No, I'm just putting facts. I'm not drawing conclusions.
No,
I'm
what
putting
you're
facts.
doing, you're unfair to him. He is not being charged. He may have had.
I never said.
He may have had the other instruments in his pocket. Okay, but he only become an accessory when he's charged, and he will be defined as such.
No, my Lord. It
The
is one
question
thing.
is disallowed.
It is one thing to have a person charged as an accessory, but it is one thing to charge that a person should have been charged as an accessory. That is all what I'm doing.
Question disallowed.
I put it to you that you should have been charged in this case.
Question disallowed.
You hid
Mr.
ammunition
Manyateli,
that should have been
Mr.
used.
Manyateli,
To kill
Mr.
the deceased.
Manyateli, I'm in control. The question is disallowed.
It's a different question.
No,
my lord.
I'm telling you, if you invite this court to be, to engage you in the manner that you suggest, this court will not hesitate. I'm not sitting here just to be dictated to. Your question is disallowed.
Which question, my lord?
The one you are putting to him.
I'll just take a sip of water.
No. Please, no, the question should allow, should assist us.
My lord, I have a lot of respect for the court. However,
I don't doubt that.
but I do not, I actually believe that each and every member of this court, the defense and the prosecution, as the bench, have a role to play. And it would help, I think, for the progress of this court if each person played their own role. I am actually really feeling distracted by the bench's interference in my
No, but
cross-examination.
the question, if the question has been asked, it has been asked. If the question, and I've indicated that the cross-examination, we've got the latitude, but that latitude does not remain unlimited. And that's the only reason why I'm doing this.
I have never asked this question to this witness. I've never put to this witness before today, that he ought to have been charged in this case. It is the first time. I do not understand the basis of the ostracization, the censor.
Please proceed.
May I ask the question, my lord?
Yes.
I put it to you that you ought to have been charged in this case, along with the accused persons.
I don't agree.
My lord, earlier on I indicated that there was information awaited from the province office, which is delayed.
Sorry?
I indicated earlier on, I think the day before yesterday, that there is some documentation that is missing from us, which we wanted to use.
Yes.
I would like to ask the court to expect that we can use it at a later stage.
So you don't close the case, your cross-examination.
I would like to leave it open until we've got that, my lord, with the permission of the court.
Yes.
My lord, I'm going to profusely object to this. This witness has been in the box for 3 days. We've heard a repeat of evidence. It's been months now. I mean, this matter that happened more than a year ago. Council have not indicated well, we don't even know what this documentation is. And the question is, why could it have already been obtained? The state has been prepared. We've been prepared from the start. We've had, I've consulted with many witnesses. I've got all my documents in place. And when we were at the pre-trial as well, the Honourable Judge Mabisela made it clear that all investigations, all aspects needs to be finalised. So the state also got a very limited time as to when investigation should be finalised. So at this late point for the defence now to say, but we are conducting a further investigation, my lord, I would submit is not only unfair to this witness, my lord, but it's not in the interest of justice, as the court pleases.
Yes, Mr. Manyateli, while you are on your feet, the recollection I have about the documentation that you said you didn't abandon the question about was relating to the possible offences or
Yes, my lord.
charges he faced.
The internal DC. Over
Yes.
the weekend, my lord, attempts were unsuccessful because all what was said is that the office is closed, will be available on Monday, and on Monday it was not available, which was yesterday. So I thought I would be able to use it on Monday. Monday was yesterday, yes. So
But let me engage you about that.
yes, my lord.
How that is the document which will demonstrate what?
It's actually pertinent to the very last question I was put.
No, but
That the witness is...
you know what I'm trying to find out? What would that document assist? What is he going to tell us? If I recall, and correct me if I'm wrong, you said he was not only charged with the offense, the breach of his duties by abandoning his...
deserting his post.
yes, but there were others.
Yes, my lord.
Yes, and this was set last week.
Yes, my lord. On Friday, to be exact.
Exactly. And then how is that going to help?
No, my lord. We're speculating at this stage as to what is there. Because the witness says he doesn't remember. And I don't
But
think it
there's
is...
one thing that he remembers.
No, he says he doesn't remember the other charges.
Yes.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So I think ex-Abudanti Kautela, out of the abundance of caution, it is not judicious to leave out pertinent documentation, especially that which has a bearing on the quality of a witness's evidence, which may or may not be used.
What aren't you saying we are speculating at this time?
I'm saying we're speculating because we haven't seen the document.
Yes.
Yes, and the witness has really not assisted to that. Remember, I complained that he's not assisting. He was evasive on that point. You know, so I'm only asking for the indulgence, my lord. But if that evidence would come, we would know that, okay, no, that's fine. These were non-consequential charges. It doesn't matter. All we would say, these were serious charges.
Well, you know, the reason why we are speculating at this time, you, him, and me, and everybody else, that there may well be other charges. Isn't that so?
Yes, my lord.
Yes, we are speculating.
Yes, my lord.
Okay. And the state is opposing that. It says you have had enough opportunity to do that.
It will have opportunity, my lord. I actually...
So what is your application about?
The application is for cross-examination of this witness be not closed entirely until a determination is made after receipt of the documents regarding his disciplinary hearing from the provincial office.
And that it has been exposed, opposed.
It's being opposed on the ground that the witness has been on the witness stand for a long time.
No, it's just, we have had enough time that,
My lord, the witness can go and take a recess and come back later. With other witnesses.
I would, approach it this way. There is an application before me for the cross-examination of this witness by accused number 2 to be suspended until such time that a purported document which will reflect the other charges that he may have faced in the disciplinary hearing is obtained. The state is opposing this on the basis that the accused has had more than enough time to prepare, and the state even referred me to the ruling by my brother Mabisela. In response, the accused maintains that that document is vital I'm making the following ruling. As it has correctly been pointed out by the applicant, accused number 2 in this matter, that that document may or may not assist the application to suspend the cross-examination of the witness by accused number 2 is refused.
Sithatha ijaji ukuthi yana okubana amiswe kanje
As the court pleases.
But no, I'm just it's refused. But if and when that document is obtained, and if and when it has been decided, I think the applicant can visit that position and explain why. But at this stage, that application too is
You
refused.
reply to recall a witness.
I don't know, there are certain, remedies that you have, and, you may have
Yeah.
to make some.
My lord, thank you very much. I have no other questions.
You have, but, oh, no, ask your attorney. Ask your attorney. Ask your attorney.
xa ikhona into ebalulekile kule nto leyo kunama-documents la ngekho okwangokuya nqa uyala ngoba anazi ukuthi ikhona yini into important noma ayikho le mara xa nifumene lama-documents asifana ukuba ikho le nto important ummeli wakho uzayivusa futhi application uba abizwe azofaka uvusa.
My lord, I am look at your conduct your operas. Can I take one last thing? It's not my case. That's just before I.
Oh, no, you are a mouthpiece.
Thanks, my lord. My lord, my principal says it's fine. Well, thank you.
Gribi.
I'm done for today. Thank you.
Cross-examination accused number 3. Are you feeling better today, Mr.
Much well, my lord. Thanks for the
Please
opportunity.
just give him the space. Mr. Chivasi, can you just shift
Indeed,
so
I
that he
wanted
can?
to, my lord, my
he can-
apology, I just want to take my documents so that I can be able to do so, my lord.
Let's reset the. Shift. You've got a tendency of giving instructions where you are not even supposed to. You have. I've observed you. Take that seat. Just sit that. Your counsel has got the instructions of interfering with the prosecution of other people. And that is distracting, it's distracting.
Thanks,
Yes.
madam, for the opportunity. May I proceed with the
Yes,
name of the
please.
court? Thanks.
Cross-examination for just before you do that, the accused you're representing is facing a charge of accessory to murder and defeating the ends of justice. Am I correct?
Indeed, so my lord, and yes, ammunition also.
Yes.
Thanks, my lord.
What I would really, it is unpleasant if, we cross-examine for the sake of cross-examining. We must cross-examine with purpose. You've got latitude, but the latitude is not without boundaries. The court has to manage
Thanks, my lord.
Thank you.
I think I've heard the court very well. I'll be short, my lord, for as long as the witness will just stick to the question posed to
Yes.
him.
And the way possible, we have seen some dramas. Where possible, please make your question as short and as clear as you can. I mean, sometimes we make an undertaking, but say, they get out of hand.
I've heard the court very well, my lord. Yes, my lord, if I may proceed.
Yes, please.
My lord, I'll start with the version of number 3, please.
Yes.
Nobana okwamanje ummeli ozoqala ngeversion bese ngizakhumbula ukuthi uzokutshela ukuthi unumber 3 uthi bese wena uma uvumelana naye uvumelana naye, uma uvumelana naye awuvumelani.
Yes.
Constable Sithole, you've already confirmed before this court that indeed you never met with accused number 3 on the day in question, which is the 26th of August 22. And accused number 3 confirms saying,
Unumber 3 naye yasho ukuthi akhanga azange akubona azange ahlale nawe.
Correct?
Kodwa kuyingani lokho kubantu?
So his version is that he never met.
never met with the witness who's in the box, my lord. Also on the 27th of August 2020, not only the 26th.
Nanga kusasa kwakhona nge-27.
Mm.
That is correct?
Just a minute.
Nangomso wakhona nge-27 khange wahlangana naye number 3. Khange badibana.
Yes.
Thanks, my lord. Accused number 3, Constable Sithole, will come and testify before this court that at no stage you ever found him in possession of unlicensed ammunition.
Uthi yena azange ngithole picture ammunition engekho emthethweni.
Kunjalo.
That is correct. Ewe kuyingani lokho? Angafumani i-ammunition engekho emthethweni kunumber 3.
That was count 4, my lord. That was in reference to count number 4.
Yes.
Again, I'm going to tell you, accused number 3 is charged on count 5 with the defeating. Accused number 3 will come and testify that on the 26th of August 2020, including 27th of August 2020, never met with you again.
Uthi count number 5 leya yethi ukuthi the ends of the nakhona saphinda nge-26 noma nge-27 azange ahlangane nawo.
Yebo kunjalo.
Yes, that is correct. Ukubona naye unumber 3 xa isithi khange adibane no witness nge-26 noma nge-27.
Thanks, my lord. Then let's go back to, I can't recall, my lord, the A157, what exhibit was it?
A157.
A157, my lord. Okay. I think I'm informed it's exhibit H. And
Just a minute, let me get it.
sorry, if no, it's James. No, 157.
157 is H.
H, thanks, my lord.
That's the transcript.
Yeah, the typed document, my lord. Thanks, my lord. Do you still remember when the evidence was led about this document, which is a Exhibit H.
Correct.
Sakhombela ukuthetha ngezifakazi ngale document i-Exhibit H.
And you stated before this court that this document was typed in your presence.
Ngicela type by type ubukhona.
Kunjalo.
That is correct. Wayekho xesha kutypwa the document.
And you even mentioned the name of a person who was typing it.
Uzowasho negama lomuntu bekade type.
Kunjalo.
That is correct. Nchilo nalomuntu bekayitypeisha the document.
Do you see on the document itself where it says recorded on 2020/08/26?
Uyakubona lapho? Uyakubona na?
Yebo.
Huh?
Yebo.
Yes.
Are you able to assist us, because I see there are also brackets and some numbers. Are you able to assist us? Those numbers that are inside the brackets, what are they meant for?
Uyazi ukuthi le numbers kumele lezo.
Huh?
No. Akazi khona i-numbers ma-brackets. Akazazi uba kumele ngintoni.
Oh, my lord.
Seems a witness wants to bring something to the court's attention, my lord.
Yes.
I drank a lot of water. Can I get 1 minute or two? I'm coming
Okay.
back now.
And, yes. He's taking a break, a comfort break. Yes.
It's just a 10-minute comfort break, my lord.
We're really running short.
Yes, I do.
No, yes.
Please, my lord, there's a request from the media. They just want to do adjustment on the microphone of
Yes,
the witness.
let them do so. It's now 25-2. Reluctantly, let's take a short adjournment until 1:45. Do you think you'll finish today?
I will finish it today, my lord.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm not pressurizing you,
No, I'm with,
sorry?
I'm with the court. I'm with
Yes.
the court. The court is not pushing me to quickly finalize.
I just want to do that. The court adjourns until, can you?
nayo intombi yakho.
How did it happen that at the time you were at work, but you were able again to record your girlfriend with the very same phone that you were carrying while you were at work on the 26th of August 2020?
I don't know.
Kuyakwazi ukuthi uzanjani ke ukubana akwazi ukurekhodisha i-girlfriend yakhe lentobela ethetha i-girlfriend yakhe yena esemsebenzini.
Let me understand you correctly. Said because the girlfriend was not working with him, and
Yes.
he was at
At a different place.
just a minute. From 6 o'clock until he knocked off,
Indeed,
they were at different places.
indeed so well.
And he says, I can't explain that.
The witness says he can't explain, my lord.
Yes.
Just a second, my lord. I think it's a yesterday issue. Okay. Remember yesterday when you testified before this court under cross-examination, counsel for number 2 asked about seeing your girlfriend being recorded, and your answer, you said you were with your girlfriend. You still recall that part?
Correct.
Sekhumbula leyo phathi okubana umeli wakho sayembuza uphela ubile girlfriend yakhe because urekhodwa nento esayijuwe.
And again, before this court, it is clear that from 6 late on the 26th until 12 midnight, you were never with your girlfriend. At no stage you were with her.
6 uzoyochayisa ngo-12 ubungenayo intombi yakho.
True.
Kuyake kuyinyani lokho. Wena ngo-6 azochayisa angakabi intombi yakho.
Then I'm telling you, yesterday you deliberately misled this court.
Khulule bekana i-district mana yamashayisa.
No.
You disagree with that? Insana nale nto ukuba uthetha koyibuzo basayikhalele. Lento iphendula inikeza umlilo wakho.
Okay. Let's go back to your statement. I think it's Exhibit J.
Yes.
Do you have it?
I'm not going to dwell much. Bases were already made. Let's go straight to paragraph 16 of your statement, please.
Paragraph 16. Statements are Asikuye ku-16. Made it 16. Got it?
Correct?
I am at 16.
Can you read from paragraph 16 until the comma?
Oh,
The comma, the first comma on that sentence.
why you don't allow him to read it all, then you can dissect it as and when you want it, so that we've got a complete recording of that paragraph.
As the God bless me, Lord. Maybe I can propose, maybe he reads up to the full stop.
Yes.
Thanks, my Lord.
Now, but I just want, in order for us to understand, to read it all, and then you can proceed with your cross-examination as you deem it necessary. Are you with me?
I hear the God, but this aspect was only where I was guiding him to. And
Yeah, but let him read it, the whole, then you can come back to where you want to guide him to.
Thanks, my Lord.
Thank you. Unless, you hold otherwise, but, we may not actually understand the background to that paragraph, because the paragraph must be having a meaning.
I hear the God on that aspect.
Yes.
Okay. If we proceed to read for record purposes.
From
From where 16?
The first line in paragraph 16.
16, okay. Send that.
when we get back to hospital, I got Sergeant was still there and 4-star police detective. Then Scotland said to me I should be taken back to the police station as I was posted at the Lion Service Center. When we arrived at the police station, I dropped off at the police station gate. Sergeant Mandla said I should tell the police officer who dropped me not to enter the police station, as there would be commotion because the family of the boy was at the police station. Then I went straight to the cell to chat with the warrant officer Mhale and Sergeant Chauke. I did not tell anyone what happened at the flat. At my shift, I did not tell them because I did not want them to be witnesses.
Thanks.
Yes.
Before this court, you confirmed that you never met with accused number 3 on the night of the 26th of August 2020, including the 27th of August 2020. You still recall that part?
Correct?
Sakhumbula okokubana uhlelo ukuba khangahlangane no-accused number 3 ngeyi-26 waze waba ngomso we-26 khangahlangane.
Then I'm telling you now, your paragraph 16, together with what you have informed the court about it, they contradict each other.
Yabona lento esikhulumile azihlangane. Lento ethetha ukukhuluma nalento ebhale lapho.
I don't agree.
Akumelanga nayo ikhoze kwazi. Ngihambelane nje.
You clearly stated that you never met with accused 3 on the 26th.
26 ushilo wathi awuhlangananga no-number 3.
Correct?
This narration in paragraph 16, specifically the first and the second line, is it about the 26th of August 2020?
Correct?
Uthi lento ebhale la indaba yango-26 ihambelana nento eyenzeke nge-26.
So this narration that you made on this statement in paragraph 16 specifically, that you met, okay, firstly, before we go far, when you wrote and Foster, police detective, whom were you referring to?
Accused number 3.
Uthi bethetha ngayo number 3 xa ebhala lawo Foster.
And before this court, you clearly stated that you never met with the accused 3.
Mara naye ekatolo ushilo wathi azange ngihlale no-accused.
That's correct?
And in this statement, you made it under oath.
Correct?
Befungile ixesha eza le-statement ukuthi eshoyo ukuba yena khangahlale no-number 3.
And when you testified, even today, again, you took an oath.
Correct?
Now, what would proceed is for?
But you happen to deliberately mislead or give the wrong evidence.
I don't agree.
Akavumelani naye lento okokuba yena nikezala le ngokumina awunele inyama.
Okay. To who was taking a statement?
One,
Fitima Tsoko of IP.
I'm sure I'm to take this statement, sir.
Is it the investigating officer of this case?
I'm paying you with that.
Correct?
Yes, I'm sure. But I'm paying.
And your statement was taken about 3 days after the alleged incident.
Such a statement, sir, amalanga amathathu emva kwesehlakalo.
I don't remember.
Bakhumbula umasithathweni ngesitatement sakho emva kwamalanga amathathu na.
Okay, I'm going to assist you and direct you. Go to the last page and see the date.
Sika ku last page one and two. Yebo.
Huh?
Do you now agree with me?
Correct?
Between the 26th and the 29th, did you ever report this incident at the police station?
Reportile le sehlakalo.
No?
6 and 29
No?
police station. Good down our report. Yethenze.
You alleged before this honorable court that this alleged typed document,
Can you use the word testified?
or you testified.
You testified.
Sorry for that.
No.
The English word.
Yeah, no, but this is testimony.
Thanks for that. You testified before this court that this typed document, which is K and H, they emanate from your phone.
Oh, the latest statue is very phone in here, police.
Correct?
You will agree with the defense, including accused number 3, that it's only your word that they emanate from your phone. The proof to that effect, accused number 3 doesn't have it.
Othi amagama aphuma kuwe into ephuma kuwe kuphela yokuthi lezi zinto ezithathiwe la zibuya efonini yakho. Ubufakazi baloko abukho okwamanje. I don't understand the question.
The question is, since you stated, you testified before this court that Exhibit H and K, there are recordings from your cell phone.
Correct. Lento eku-H no-K into eziphuma ezithathiwe eziphuma efonini yakho.
Yes.
Yes.
You are the person who knows that indeed they come from your cell phone.
Umuntu waziyo ukuthi nangempela uba efonini yakho lezinto.
Yes.
And before this court, there is a cell phone that was handed in as an exhibit.
And la nkantolo khona cell phone eyanikezwa njenge-exhibit, right?
Yes.
And we were informed that that phone belongs to you, is the one that is having those recordings.
Kuthiwa ifoni le yakho and le phone le kunalama recordings lapha asenze.
Correct.
But you will agree with me that as a defense, specifically accused number 3, if indeed they are coming from your cell phone, we still in a dilemma or in a dark place, because you could not access it.
Sorry, I don't understand that.
If indeed, my lord, those recordings as alleged or as he testified that they are coming from his cell phone,
Yes.
it's only him who knows, because he could not access, because that cell phone is used as the primary source of those recordings.
Still, I don't understand. The thing that is is obvious is that the recordings were done on exhibit. Just a minute. Exhibit 2.
That's what.
Yes.
Yes.
Then
My point is, if indeed Exhibit 2 is carrying those recordings, it's only him who knows. I chose number 3 in the sense that he was given the cell phone. He could not access it to show that indeed they emanated from Exhibit 2.
isn't that really the question of argument?
Thanks, my lord. But I'll have to put it to him first, then also during argument, so that the court doesn't say at a later stage. But you should.
Now, what I would like to understand, it is your contention that the accused number 3 never got hold of this exhibit 2 at any time.
The cell phone.
Yes.
Yes. And the only person who knows the contents of the cell phone is the witness.
We don't know whether he it's the witness, but what you are saying is that the only person who had that, the person who the accused was never in possession of exhibit 2.
My lord, my point is, the witness is having these recordings.
Yes.
The cell phone is alleged to be belonging to him.
It contains the recordings, yes?
Yes,
and
the
it
recording.
belongs to him.
Yes, my lord.
And then accused number 2 has never been in number 3 has never been in possession.
And my lord, the only person who knows about those recordings is the witness who's in the box.
I don't think that is correct. What I agree with you is that accused number 3 never ever had this.
Yes, my lord. Hence my submission to this witness is that he is the only person, this witness is the only person who can come and say, on my cell phone, I had these recordings. There is no other person other than him.
No. I think you are putting it just a minute. Mr. Massetti.
Yes, my lord.
Let's not confuse him. He is the only person who taped this. He is the only person who was at the time of recording in possession of Exhibit 2. We do not know who else was in possession of them.
Thanks, man.
You see my difficulty now?
Yes.
If you say nobody else knew about the contents of this, I think it is confusing.
The reason why I was going with that line, my lord, is because of when he testified, he made it clear that he forgot the password. Then by virtue that you forgot the password, I will submit to this court that there is no other person who can access it other than the owner who knows the password.
Yes.
My lord, that was not the witness's evidence. His evidence was on that specific day of hearing when he was standing there in court, he was asked if he can remember to open it. He said that that day he couldn't remember the password. So to say that he didn't have the password before, I would submit that that's taken it further than what he testified.
Thanks, my lord. I think my colleague didn't understand. I meant to say, my lord, he forgot the password when we're here in court, when he testified.
Yes.
That is when, hence I'm saying now.
Yes, if you put it that way, then I understand.
Yes.
When he testified, as from, I'll tell you just now. Yes, the fifth, as from, yes. He, as on the day of his testimony, he testified that he couldn't remember the password.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So, hence my summary, my conclusion to him was that the only person who can have an access is him, based on the password. Because we only became aware about the issue of password when he testified before this court.
I'm not with you, just explain.
My lord, the witness, when he testified, when we were before this court,
When he was given,
yes, my lord. He stated that he cannot switch it on because of the password he forgot. Then because of he cannot switch it on, the only person who will remain knowing the contents until today will be this witness. Because there is no one who will ever be able to access that phone. Specifically, it having a password and him forgetting the password.
you see, the password was, is when he testified. He said, I can't remember the password. But any other period before that is not what is, it's not clear.
Yes, no, I was referring only on the date, which is the 5th, when he testified.
Yes.
Thanks for that.
But then if you say to him, then the only person who can access that information is himself. Is confusing because, this was typed, when was it typed?
I'll find out from him. I believe he forgot.
He said it's recorded on the 26th and this, just a minute. On the 4th of, this is Sunday on the 4th of May 2021.
That's what I was going there also, but to lead him so that he can tell us, because he happens to forget so many things about these issues.
Yes.
Thanks for that. Remember when you were asked by one of the counsels, you stated before this court that you do not remember as to when this phone was taken from you.
Correct?
Just a minute. Yes, please proceed.
Okay. I need the clarity because you have answered that you do not remember it too well. You don't remember the year, or you don't remember the month, or you don't remember everything.
Bathiwa yini into asekhumbula. Sakhumbula inyanga, unyaka. Noma sakhumbula yonke into.
Angisakhumbuli yonke into.
Everything.
Okay, let's take it further. As to when the document was typed, do you remember when was it typed now?
No.
Sakhumbula ukuthi type yini. Left document.
Okay. And from the time this phone was taken from you until this document was typed, you do not even know where this cell phone was kept.
Utawazi ukuba bengcinwe kuphi the cell phone sukela ngenkathi ithathwa kuphi.
Yes.
Unyala kazi uba beyibhukephi. Cell phone evele uba ithathiwe kuyo.
And again, from the time the document was typed until today, you do not even know where it was, until the date it was introduced or produced here in court. You do not even know where this same cell phone was kept.
Sibanakala ilanga leli lithathwa kuwo kube kathi nelanga izikhishwa la ecourt kungazi ukuthi kugcine kuphi.
Yes.
Yes. Sabusha lo ukuthi engazi kodwa ukuphi na abegcine khona.
Constable Sithole, at the end of the state's case, I will argue before this court that you are not a reliable witness.
Uthi wena wayethembakali. Uvumelana na? Uthi wethembakali na?
No.
Disagree with that? Phikisana naye nalowo.
Because you testified that as per the recording on the 26th of August between 6 late until 12 midnight, you were with your girlfriend. Yesterday you testified along those lines, but today you are changing your tune.
Sorry, because he said when the recording was made, on the day in question, the girlfriend was there.
He said, my lord, he was with the girlfriend.
Yes.
But today, when I do a follow up, he says he was not with his girlfriend. He was at work.
Not him.
And they were at a different place. Hence, I will argue at the end of the state case, my lord, that he is not a reliable witness based on that first aspect.
usemsebenzini baze bashaya u-12 ngesikhathi uzotshayisa. Phinde futhi ukuthi kwenziwa i-recording wena ubunentombi yakho ngesikhathi kwenziwa le recording. Kuyabonakala lezi zinto azihambelani, ingaba ezokhuluma ukuthi wena awusiwumuntu ufakazi ongathi inkulumo yakhe iyathembeka, ngeke bayithathe njengeqiniso.
The recording started at work and then until home it never stopped, so I don't understand.
I-recording waqala ukukhoda sasemsebenzini waze wafika ekhaya eloko e-recorde njalo ngokakavisisi kokuba umhlekazi uthini
This recording that was introduced by the state purposed to be done by the 26th of August 2020, and you only reached home on the 27th of August 2020.
Utiyabona lento le yenziwe nge-26 August 2020 waze washaya sasa nge-27 kulapho ufike khona.
Someone was typing a document, might have made a mistake.
Kunokwenzeka ukubana umuntu bekathayipisha ne-document wenziwe i-mistake.
Then today you testified that at no stage you ever met with accused number 3, specifically on the 26th of August 2020, including the 27th of August 2020. You still recall that part?
So kubona ukuthi washo ukuthi unumber 3 azange uhlangane naye nge-26 August kwaze waba ngakusasa wakhona i-27 August ungahlangananga naye.
Again, yes.
And I can safely conclude that what is in paragraph 16 is also a mistake that was done.
Lento ebhalwe la number 3 so ukuthi i-mistake.
No, I disagree.
Kodwa
So if you disagree, are you telling this court that you put that deliberately in paragraph 16, that you met with accused number 3 at the hospital?
futhi lento ebhalwe la ukuthi uhlale no-number 3 esibhedlela uyifake njengamabhuku.
If I can see mates, then I'll be able to explain.
Sorry, what is your question again?
Is that at the end of the state case, my lord, I will argue that.
Yeah, no, that's your your duty.
Yes.
What is the question?
That today he testified that he never met with
Yes.
accused number 3.
Yes.
Then here on his statement, specifically paragraph 16, is telling us a different story, totally different. So he said he disagrees with me that he's telling us a different story with what is contained here. So I'm saying to him, did you put it deliberately that you met with accused 3 at the hospital?
Let me understand. In paragraph 16, he says he met with accused number 3.
Indeed, so.
In his viva voce evidence, he testified that he never met him.
Indeed, so.
Yeah. So, what is your question?
He said, my lord, he disagrees
With which one?
with my submission that he is not a reliable witness in the sense that, my lord, he said here in paragraph 16, he says, I met with number 3.
No, number
Then
3
he-
and number 3 accused. No, the evidence, viva voce evidence, is different from the evidence, from the evidence that is part of the recording, that his statement, that's clear. He says he met with him, but he says he didn't meet with him.
Indeed, sir.
So you don't need, do you need his permission to come and argue that he's reliable or unreliable, or you are going to analyze the facts?
My lord, my point to him was that at the end of the state's case, I'm going to argue that he's not a reliable witness.
No, you
Then he
made-
said he disagreed.
No, you don't even have to get his position or what you want to do. All what you want to say, if I understand you correctly, that these two statements are mutually destructive or exclusive.
That's my lord.
Do you understand you correctly? Do you understand that correctly? Okay. So you don't need his permission to say at the end of the day you're going to do whatever you want to do. You do that as part of your mandate.
My lord, I've properly consulted with the client, but I understand the court. But just to confirm something, if the court may allow me, my lord, on that.
No, but what I'm saying is, you have cross-examined on the contents of exhibit. J,
Yes,
that is his statement, paragraph 16.
yes,
You have contrasted and compared that with his viva voce evidence.
yes,
What I'm asking you is it necessary for you to tell him that you are going to, at the end of the state case, that you're going to argue, or that is part of the mandate? You don't need his permission.
yes, but I got the court on that aspect, my lord, but I just wanted permission just for.
From your client?
Yes, please.
No, please go on.
Thanks, my lord.
Ms. Semenyatin, is that the latest edition of Morris?
Yes.
Or that is the 6 by advocate?
John Marlis,
And then who? There are two.
Carlos da Silva.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine.
So that was in 2017.
Yeah, no, I'm aware of it. But there's a, the
2015.
yeah, but there's a portion which they have missed in that. Yeah, that is the squirrel. They mentioned in one sentence the squirrel story. Squirrel, the farmer and the squirrel, which was.
Oh, that exciting part in the original edition.
Yes,
I enjoyed the selection of the candidates.
exactly. The one who was sitting there, sheepishly, not knowing,
Yeah.
and he said, the question is, where is what happened to the squirrel?
Yes, I remember.
But that is not in that. Am I
That's the
correct?
original edition.
Anyway,
I think
thanks.
they omitted it here. It was quite exciting.
Okay.
Thanks, my lord, for that opportunity.
Yes.
My lord, I believe I did put the version of accused number 3 before this court when we started, and I've consulted. I'm done with this witness.
No, just about request and aspect. There was the last question. I know my law's aspect with my colleague was about him telling, I'm going to argue this, but after he said that, he asked the witness, he said, so you're telling that you put that information deliberately in your statement, that the Q3 was at the hospital. And then the witness replied and said, but I can explain that. And it was just left there. So I don't know if my colleague wants to withdraw that question or whether we're going to give the witness a chance to answer it.
Thanks, my lord.
Okay.
On that aspect, my lord,
Look, I just wanted to clarify one thing, but you haven't clearly you haven't closed your case, so you're still on the floor.
yes, my lord. That part will be a part for argument, because because at the end of the day, before this court, it's clear that the viva voce evidence that he tendered contradicts what he wrote on the statement. And also the statement, my lord, I will argue that during argument stages. So hence, I've taken a note of what was being raised by the court, whether should he comment or what on that part.
No, but I don't want to be misunderstood. All what I'm saying is, when you have a mandate, you don't get his permission to do that. That is part of your mandate, isn't that so?
Indeed, so.
So do you need to tell him that at the end of this I'm going to do that? That is all what I was trying to avoid. You don't. I mean, if that, even if he doesn't want you to do that, that's your, that is part of your strategy. That's your strategy.
Yes, because all that I wanted to highlight is that I will prove to this court that you are not a reliable witness based on these aspects that are before court, which I did bring those issues into his attention, and it's clear.
So now I don't want you to say the court made me to close to stop my cross-examination. All what I was saying is that whatever you do, you don't need his permission. You must understand that clearly.
I've heard the court. I've heard the court very well in that aspect. I've heard the court. I still maintain the aspect that my little colleague is raising is for argument purposes.
Right, I take him up with that aspect when he said he did it deliberately. My colleague is then withdrawing that question. Is that I understand?
What is your comment to that?
He can put it as withdrawing, but it's part of argument.
No, let's not get entangled in the web of unnecessary argument. What was the question again? Let's get that clear, Mr. Bartenhorst.
Going out to that, he was. So, are you saying that you put that you made the Q3? Did you put it deliberately in your statement? Were you deliberate when you placed it in your statement?
And
then the witness was going to answer to that question. Because the question was, it started off the question before that, paragraph 6 is also it was also mistaken, and he said he disagrees. So then the follow-up question was, so you didn't quote that you deliberately put a Q3 in your statement, that you met him at the hospital, and then the witness wanted to answer, and then this is where everything happened.
My little colleague is quite correct. I remember.
Yes.
Now, my lord, it was also when the court asked me to explain the line of questioning, then I was trying to explain. As the court said, is it for him to? I remember very well that aspect.
No, but let's come to this question of deliberate insertion of the word.
Okay, so let me finish by allowing him to answer that. Okay. Because the question was,
the two statements are not, they don't convey the same meaning. They are opposed to one another.
Yes, my lord.
Did you put that deliberately? Or
Say put it deliberately in his statement, in other words, to mislead.
you mean the putting of what deliberately?
Deliberately, it's intentionally knowing something is wrong, but you do it, you proceed to do it again.
Let's not get over, over enthusiastic. When you say that word deliberate, were you referring to what?
My lord, thanks, my lord. My little colleague assisted. The witness.
He can't do that. Oh,
No. I'm referring to the state, not. I'm referring to the state when the state was rephrasing or going through the questions that I asked. Not.
Yes.
No, I'm referring to the state, my lord. Yes. So what happened, my lord, was that I asked a question to this witness. The witness said the person was typing this document. which is it's either Exhibit H or Exhibit K,
Yeah.
made a mistake. That was the answer from this witness.
Sorry, then I'm lost because I understood it had to do with the affidavit itself because the question was relating to paragraph 16, whether this aspect that he mentioned Foster in paragraph 16, did he do it deliberately to mislead? That's what it came down
Yeah,
to.
that's my understanding. Let's try to clear up the, the,
That's my Lord.
we're talking here about two mutually destructive versions or paragraphs. His evidence in court is that he never met with accused number 3, be it on the 26th or 27. The statement may mention that he met with accused number 3 at Baragwanath Hospital. And you raised the question that the two statements are not, they don't convey the same meaning, therefore you're going to argue that they sound reliable.
Thanks, my Lord. I still
And
recall.
then you ask him whether he put that statement deliberately.
Thanks, my Lord.
Which statement are you referring to?
I still recall very well. What happened, my Lord, is I asked this witness specifically about these recordings, which is
Paragraph 16.
no. It's either between H and K. I asked about him. I told him, according to these recordings, they purported to have been done on the 26th of August 2020. The answer was this. I then told this witness.
But did he say
Yes.
the recording? Oh, the recording.
The recordings.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Not the typing.
No, the recording itself.
Yes.
Then the answer was yes. Then the follow-up was that at the time you were at work until you knocked off at 12 midnight, which was now the 27th of August, no longer the 26th.
Yes.
Then the answer was yes.
Yes.
Then I told him that there was no way that you can be with your girlfriend like on the 26th while you were at work and your girlfriend was in a different place. The answer was that the person who typed this exhibit H and K, my lord, made a mistake.
He said might have made a mistake.
Sorry?
He said might have made a mistake. He didn't say he did make a mistake. He said might.
Thanks, my lord. Then now, I said to him, okay, if that person might have done this mistake, so even from your statement, paragraph 16, a mistake was done or not? The answer was, I
Yes.
disagree. Then the follow-up to that was, if you disagree, did you put accused number 3 deliberately at the hospital?
Oh, I see. No. And then?
He hasn't answered me.
Okay. When we got back to the hospital, I got Sergeant Dava still there and Foster police detective. Then Scorpion said to me I should be taken back to the police station as I was posted at the client service center. So when we got back at the hospital, there is a time that Sergeant accused number 2 says to us, he phoned Foster. Foster is there. He's gonna sort out everything. That's where I gave the statement that said I got Sergeant Ndaba still there and Foster police detective. I didn't say I met him personally. I never met him personally.
Uyakhala okubana yintoni into ezenza akhulume ngo-number 3 uFoster ubabheke khona uthi no hayi ukuthi udibane naye uFoster besithi into nje weva wena number 2 kusho okubana wena ucele uncedo ku-number 3 ozawuza azolungisa zonke izinto ingako akhulume ngayo.
Okay. It's evidence before this court that Sergeant Ndaba was a crew member for a backup and he was called to come to hospital.
Iqiniso lokuthi Ndaba wayekhulumela ye-backup eyabizwa nje kwenzela esibhedlela.
I don't know.
Usakazi uNdaba wayekhulumela ye-backup na.
No, I was telling you, it is evidence before this court.
Is it that Ndaba was part of the backup?
Yes, that came to hospital. There is such evidence before this court.
No, there was a backup, but I don't know whether the name of Ndaba came.
I recall very well.
Okay,
I
no.
recall very well.
So if I understand the witness correctly, his interpretation of that, of that section is that he never met with case number 3.
I'm with the court, madam.
No, I'm asking, is that your understanding as well?
Yes, he says now he never met with number 3. As per his statement, he says
Because he was told.
that is called to come.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to tell him a simple thing like that. Because I could hear the witness, at least he understands English so far.
No, let's communicate. Did you understand that the same way as
Exactly the same already.
Okay, yes. So, at the end of the day, he says, I never met him. Am I correct?
I'm with the court.
That is his evidence.
Yes.
All that I must make sure before this court, my lord, is that indeed he is not a reliable witness. And indeed his testimony contradict each other. Because I will submit that this is
those are arguments that we'll have to make. But what I'm saying is, and I confirm this with the state and with yourself, is that when he wrote that which is written here in paragraph 16, that when he went to the hospital, he was anticipating him to be present as he was told, but he never met him. Are you with me?
I hear the court very well.
Okay, fine. Proceed.
Constable Sithole, from the time when you made this statement, did you have any information whether are there any suspects who have been arrested for this case that we are here for today?
That was the statement bosiwazi kunabasonga yini la abazobotshwa
I don't remember.
wasakhumbula okubana xa sebekhona ixesha enze statement sebekhona abantu abasonwayo ukuthi bazawubotshwa ngale mhlaba.
I'm summarizing, my lord, with due respect.
No, take your
And
time.
not to say, I don't want the court to say I'm repeating issues that
No,
have
if look, if you do that, I will tell you. If you don't, I will tell. I wouldn't.
You've already stated that with Exhibit H and K, as to the numbers contained in the brackets, you do not know what do they mean.
Did that explore how come up brackets? I was
Correct, my lord.
something that I would
And you've also made it clear before this court that the person who typed these documents might have made a mistake when typing these documents.
Did he say might? I don't know. Made mistake and might have made mistake. How did he put it in Zulu?
Okay, let me just get a
Yes.
clarity from him. Were you saying this person who typed made a mistake?
type it Wednesday report.
Regarding Exhibit K, yes, about the dates, yeah.
Thanks for that. At least it covers.
What's
Well,
the-
my lawyer-
Yeah,
well, my lawyer colleague said might.
The reason why I'm saying that is, might may mean, might and may have different, and, what do they call it in English? One is past tense, the other one is past tense with some qualifications, and they may not mean exactly the same. But if you say he made and he might have made, the other one is, I think is, sorry?
past participle.
Past participle, but perfect. So we must be so.
That's but the answer at this stage now, made a mistake. Nothing further, my lord. That concludes my cross-examination for this witness.
Any re-examination? Constable Sithole, you may step down.
Sabona, continue now.
Yes, sir.
I don't propose to know the procedure. I'm just,
Sorry, let me come back. Let me.
I'm not sure whether it is not permissible for counsel to re-examine each
Okay.
other's claims.
Now, there you go. But you have cross-examined him.
No, just re-examination arising from.
No, re-examination. No, it doesn't. Let's clear that thing up. You have cross-examined. Is cross-examination? No, is evidence in chief. Cross-examination and re-examination is for him.
No, I just want to check if
No, but that's a good point.
so that there are three accused persons. Counsel represents different persons.
But but they've cross-examined. That's why that's why I haven't allowed him to re-examine at the end of each and every.
Yes. No, I appreciate it. It just crossed my mind.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I think. Do you think there's any re-examination which is due to?
My lord, remember we are questioning is about this witness's evidence. So obviously it gets is about his evidence. I
Yes.
can't see so to
So
re-examine
you cannot
would not make
you
sense.
cannot
Or re-cross-examine.
re-examine a cross-examination.
Yeah, so it's actually a re-cross-examination. my lord.
No, it's not. There are specific rules about re-examination.
No,
You don't, it's not. It's different from cross-examination. The court will have to stop anyone who cross-examines at the stage. of-
But look, he has testified,
Yes, my lord.
and you cross-examined,
Cross-examined, yes.
And after that, no, wait a minute. After, no, he might have a point. After, may the accused please go there. When the first witness, cross-examination of the first for the accused, after that, I invited accused number 2's counsel and accused number 3 to put questions. Didn't I do that?
For the witness, my lord. I'm confused, my lord.
To ask him, ask the witness. No, I don't think no.
No, that would, my lord, we will never get to the end of
No.
cross-examination. And then the defense cannot re-examine a witness.
No.
They can only cross-examine. You only re-examine when you plead in chief, as the court pleases.
Sorry?
You will re-examine the witness. The state had to re-examine the witness.
Okay, no. Anyway, so I think you're excused.
Thank you, my lord.
Yes, Mr. Barnos.
Lord, I see it's 1 o'clock, and I did indicate this morning that I'm not
yes.
feeling well, so.
Oh, yes. And then we must keep in mind the 21st and the 29th. Am I correct, Ms. Chivase?
The corpus, my lord, the point of correction is 21st and the 28th, my lord.
Okay. Please, can you just make those things? Then is when you'll come late, yes.
And also tomorrow, this lordship will remember that I'm going to postpone a bail application on the other side.
I don't even think,
In the same building.
no, I don't even think Magistrate Nemavili is here because he was just discharged from hospital yesterday. But anyway, we'll start at 9:30 and then you shall have done that. I don't even know who's going to postpone it. Was it set down for tomorrow?
Indeed, so, my lord.
Okay, but we will wait for you.
I would like to meet the boss, my lord.
Yeah, but I mean, you will be here and then we'll wait.
So just to confirm, the 19th, you have something on the 19th.
Kinali ka di 19 ka.
I just heard something for Tuesday, the 19th.
What I know is the 14th. 14th. Ka di 19th. Yes, there may be some sentencing proceedings, but they can, I will deal with it, because we'll see how far we are with this. I've got so many part heads, and the more you try to clear your table, the more it will become messy. But it is here.
It's clear.
No, we are here.
But you're on that.
Uh,
When that indication was made, I also made tenancy violations
now we will be here in any event.
on the 19th.
Yes. And then the 14th, I've got to listen to some arguments that quite, correctly submitted, supplied me with their heads, so it may not be that long.
So it's a matter of time, not the day
Yeah.
that's still standing.
Yeah, the 13th and the 14th and the 19th we are going on.
Thank you.
Accused number 3, please, when we agree. Otherwise, you just inconvenience everybody. And we are trying to do this so that, we can finalize this matter as soon as possible. And your coming late is not really, Bamsanda, it's not right. What should I do? Should I, call the matter so that I can issue a warrant, and after the warrant is used, then you are going to come here to start, explaining, and when you explain, and then that is just wasting the time that we could be using it for appropriately. Where do you stay, Rose? Go? Deep down. But I mean, please. When I usually tell people some other people come from the van, and now, but by 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock, they are already there. Let's please try to respect time and the order. May the accused please rise. The matter stand adjourned for further evidence by the state to the 13th, tomorrow the 13th of October 2021, and your bail is extended. And that is the roll. Is that the roll, Mr. Barton?
That's the wrong one.
Court adjourns.
All right.
Comment. Hoe heet man?
Just put in all the blankets. Then I choked up.